Hi everyone, in this video we have grade 8 chapter 4 section 3 experimental probability, which is on page 134. For this section you need to read the questions on the book. For these probability sections they are all needed to read the probability questions in the book because we don't have much space to write all the questions down and solving them on the board. You just need to read it on the book. It's on page 134. Now we talk about experimental, something that we did experiment as an experiment. It happened before. Based on that, according to that, we will get the probability to happen in the next tries that we do. For example, in example 1 tells you Xuan made saves on 15 out of 25 shots. 15 saves he did. 15 saves out of how many shots? Out of 25 shots. Now this is an experiment. It happened. He got 15 saves out of 25 shots that comes to him. From that experiment that happened, now it asks you what's the probability for the next shot that it comes to him that he will save. For the next shot, because he saved 15, we would say 15 over 25 shots. 15 over 25 because out of 25 shots he saved 15 until now, so the probability to save the next shot is 15 over 25, and it can be simplified. Both of them can be divided by 5, so it is 3 over 5. This is as a fraction, and the question asks you to write it as decimal and as percent as well. Because this is 15 over 25, to make it percent we have to do something to make denominator 100. So from that we know that 25 multiplied by what would be 100? Multiplied by 4. So we would multiply this fraction by 4 over 4. 15 over 25 multiplied by 4 over 4, it would be 60 over 100. Always to get the percent we need to make the denominator 100. So the percentage is 60% because you have 60 over 100, and to make it decimal it would be 0.60, and zeros at the end we don't need it, we will erase. So the simplest fraction for the probability of saving of these shoots, it is 3 over 5 as fraction, and the probability by percentage it is more than half, which is 60%, and by decimal it is 0.6. The other one in example 2 we have another experiment which tells you for the past 3 weeks Umid has been recording the daily high temperatures for a science project. His results are shown in the tables. Temperature in 3 weeks. I wrote it to you here. In A asks you what's the experimental probability that the temperature will be above 16 on the next day. Above 16, it means more than 16, not 16 itself, more than, greater than 16. Based on that we check how many days did we have which is above 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We had 15 days, which is the temperature was above 16, more than 16. 15 days out of how many days? We have 3 weeks, 7, 14, 21 over 21. And always we write the fractions in the simplest form. It can be divided by 3, so the temperature, the probability for the temperature for the next day to be above 16 is 5 over 7. The other one, not above 16, the temperature, the probability of the temperature to not be above 16. We studied in the last lesson that the probability of something to happen and to not happen, because we have 15 over 21 to be above, to be not above 16, we can say the rest is not above 16. To make it 21, we will have 6 more days, and even you can count them not above 16. It means 16 or less than 16. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't have any more. Sorry. It is 6 days out of 21 days. Again, it can be divided by 3. It can be divided by 3. So the result is 2 over 7. If it is 15 over 21, it must be 6 over 21. When it is 5 over 7, to make it 7, we have 2 more to make it 7 over 7, which should be full, which should be 1. So the probability of happen plus the probability of not happen must be always equal to 1. We know that from the other section. So that's how we find an experimental probability from some experiment which happened before. Based on that, we show the probability for the next days or for the next tries that we have. Based on them, as we said in example 1, because he made 15 saves out of 25 shoots. For the next tries, the probability is like that. For the temperatures, because for the past 3 weeks it was like that, so for the next day to be above 16, we count them how many days it was more than 16. We count it was 15 over 21, so the rest is not above 16. Just be careful about that one, which is not above 16. It means 16 itself or less than 16. That's all about experimental probability. Thanks for watching.